What's up, everybody? Good morning. Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day, whatever the hell you call it yourself. There's a lot of them. And I'm not going to lie, if they pulled out the Geico commercial with the camel, Mike, guess what day it is? I would laugh. I would enjoy it, but serious news to get to here on this Wednesday. We got the Paul Pelosi attack, David DePape. And there's a lot of stuff going around about all of it. So I'm going to go over the affidavit and everything that they have released. That's at least official, not just stuff people saying things and speculation, because there's still a lot out there that hasn't been confirmed. And I don't want to be the jackass to go out there and say it, but I will say I'm over all of it. I've been seriously over it. If you've been listening to me, I'm seriously over it. And again, I'm not referencing the attack on Paul Pelosi, which should bother everyone. And no matter what, pretty positive man still got hit in the head with a hammer, regardless of how it happened. Yeah, it was again because there's a million stories out there, but nothing's been confirmed. So let's not be complete Neanderthals and crazy people until we get all kinds of stuff confirmed, because there's a lot more to come out for anyone should be able to make an actual real opinion. I know that we're probably never going to get the whole story behind all. I mean, we never get the whole story behind a lot of things ever. Just the way it is. Get the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. There's always things being withheld, and people push whatever's on their own side. But on merit, no matter what, if it's a human being, if you're actually a human being inside, you should never want to see anyone get hit in the head with a hammer unless you're watching, let's say, a horror movie. And it bash the guy's brains. Makes for a good horror movie. But no one should want to see anyone, assaulted, attacked, anyone, no matter how you feel. If you're actually a human being, again, there have been a lot of false news across the board, and a lot of unconfirmed stuff, from all sides, and a bunch of things, false flags, all that has not officially been confirmed. People say, well, a source, inside of ice, or that, but confirm it. Like, let's actually get things confirmed. You can get how multiple people get your stuff and confirm it, like his work visa being out of date horrifically. Like, I've heard that, which means it would be illegal, but people said no, it was real. Like, he was still good and legal. And then there's tax information that he's they're covered, driver's license, all kinds of stuff. There's all kinds of stuff coming up here, there, and everywhere. And again, I'm not saying that what's true and what isn't. We're never gonna get to that. We never do. But this could be the time where everyone tones down on all of that and starts actually doing their jobs in journalism again, and tones down the rhetoric, which is what got us in this first place, and all this stuff. A lot of it happening in the first place just because the rhetoric from everybody, everything getting spewed across all boards, just dividing us even further. And they keep going out of their way to do it, even though I'm pretty sure we can all agree that they're just gonna double down and make it worse, because no one has the desire to douse the flames. Even the great uniter Joe Biden has gone out of his way to pour gasoline on the fire and make everything 1,000 times worse, which is kind of like the guy who's vice president for. Just went out of his way to make everyone hate each other as much as humanly possible and divide everything and start making things about race, take God out of everything. Those are true. Here we are. And again, the hypocrisy, I say this and then I do the other. It really does keep, killing my head. But as of right now, the information that I have is the straight affidavit, signed by special agents and judges, magistrates, all of them across the board, and there's stuff on justice.gov that has been put out. If you need to go look at the justice.gov, it's on there, and you can find some of the stuff pretty easily. And then again, there's wish-washy stories back and forth with a lot of things not being confirmed. And until they're confirmed, I'm saving myself the headache and not getting my head blown off. But I will say it's amazing to be able to read this affidavit to you, because you can actually read the whole thing. It's not redacted like when I tried to get the Trump one that took forever. And as I'm pretty sure by now we saw with Mar-a-Lago, it's just a bunch of redacted stuff and you couldn't see anything. This one, 100%. No redactions at all. Which is amazing how quick it got released. I'm not trying to make anything. I'm just saying, for someone that actually looks up these things, it's nice to see an affidavit that's not 90% blacked out and redacted. It's a really good change of pace. I'm going to go over that. We're going to get some feelings after. You guys feel free to leave comments how you feel, but there is some good stuff in here. United States of America versus David Wayne DePap. Again, haven't heard it physically out loud. Don't want to turn on the media. It all hurts my head. It's not good. It really hurts my damn head. But on or about the date of October 20, 2022, in the county of San Francisco in the Northern District of California, the defendant, David Wayne DePape, violated 18 USC 115A1A and B, assault on the immediate family member of a federal official, and 18 USC 1201D, attempted kidnapping of a federal official, approved as to form AUSA Laura Bartain, and the complainant's signature, Stephanie Miner, FBI Special Agent, signed Halloween, and that's October 31st, 2022, in San Francisco, California, and the judge's signature is the Honorable Thomas S. Hickson, U.S. Magistrate Judge. And you right. Affidavit in support of application for a complaint and arrest warrant. I, Stephanie Miner, a special agent of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, or FBI, signed off on it. Introduction, Federal Rules of Criminal Procedure 3 and 4 for a criminal complaint and arrest warrant for David Wayne DePape. Pape violated Title 18, that'd be USC, that's U.S. Code, for 115A1A by assaulting Paul Pelosi, an immediate family member of a United States official, to wit, Nancy Pelosi, the Speaker of the United States House of Representatives, with intent to retaliate against such official on account of the performance of official duties, and Title 18 of the United States Code 1201D by attempting to seize or kidnap a United States official, to wit, Nancy Pelosi, the Speaker of the United States House of Representatives. DePape was prepared to detain and injure Speaker Pelosi when he entered the Pelosi residence in the early morning of October 20th, 2022. DePape had zip ties, tape, rope, and at least one hammer with him that morning. And evidence further shows DePape assaulted Mr. Pelosi with DePape's own hammer. Excuse me. 2, submit, affidavit for a limited purpose of securing a criminal complaint and arrest warrant. They have not included every fact known to them concerning the investigation, and they have set forth only the facts to establish probable cause that violations of federal laws identified have occurred. Based on her statements, training and experience, personal knowledge of the facts and circumstances obtained through my participation in this investigation, information provided to her by other agents and law enforcement officers, information provided by reports of other law enforcement officers, information provided by audio recording evidence, as well as video and photographic evidence, and information provided by records and databases. In other words, from doing the investigations, and all the information they got is how they got there. Crazy, I know. But affidavit, affidavit background, the person that got the affidavit, see, special agent with Federal Bureau of Investigation. I've been a special agent since 2019, assigned to the San Francisco Field Office, Oakland Resident Agency, specializes in investigations of domestic terrorism. She primarily investigates United States persons who commit violent criminal acts in furtherance of their political or social ideology, to include militia violent extremists. Completed the approximately 21-week new agent training at the FBI Academy in Quantico. Received training in physical surveillance, legal statutes and procedures, confidential source management, and electronic surveillance techniques, and has assisted with the execution of search warrants in numerous domestic terrorism investigations. Applicable statutes: Title 18, United States Code, Section 115A1A, in relevant part, states whoever assaults, kidnaps, or murders, or attempts or conspires to kidnap or murder, or threatens to assault, kidnap, or murder a member of the immediate family of a United States official with intent to impede, intimidate, or interfere with such official while engaged in performance of official duties, or with intent to retaliate against such official on account of the performance of official duties, shall be punished as provided in subsection B. Again, if you guys haven't read the U.S. Code, read some of that stuff. Crazy stuff in there. But Title 18, United States Code, Section 1201A and 1201A5, in relevant part, states whoever unlawfully seizes, confines, inveigles, decoys, kidnaps, abducts, or carries away and holds for ransom or reward, or otherwise any person, except in the case of a minor, or by the parent thereof. When, excuse me, further in relevant part, Title 18 U.S. Code 1201D states whoever attempts to violate subsection 1 shall be punished by imprisonment for not more than 20 years, which, I mean, I think that's fitting of the crime. Granted, most of them get out way before they get anywhere near that, but does fit the crime. Now, here we go. Facts supporting probable cause, which is what they used to get the warrant in the first place. On October 28th, 2022, at 2:23 a.m., San Francisco dispatch received a 911 call from Paul Pelosi, located at the Pelosi residence in San Francisco, California. At 2:31 a.m., San Francisco Police Department Officer Colby Wilms responded to the Pelosi residence, California, and knocked on the front door. When the door was open, Pelosi and DePape were both holding a hammer with one hand, and DePape had his other hand holding Pelosi's forearm. Pelosi greeted the officers. The officers asked them what was going on. DePape responded that everything was okay. Officers then asked Pelosi and DePape to drop the hammer. DePape pulled the hammer from Pelosi's hand and swung the hammer, striking Paul Pelosi in the head. Officers then removed a cell phone, cash, Clipper cards, and an unidentified card from DePape's right shorts pocket. There was a glass door that appeared to be broken near the door handle with said hammer because it was laminated glass, so he needed to get through it. The San Francisco Police Department recovered zip ties in Pelosi's bedroom and in the hallway near the front door of the Pelosi residence. In DePape's backpack, they found, among other things, a roll of tape, white rope, one hammer, one pair of rubber and cloth gloves, and a journal. It's, basic stuff. Again, having zip ties just strewn all over the place seems, kind of weird to just leave them all over the place. But again, half-cocked plan, I don't understand. A lot of it, again, security system, all that, again, still seems weird. But anyway, Pelosi stated they had never seen DePape before. Pelosi was asleep when DePape came into Pelosi's bedroom and stated that he wanted to talk to Nancy. Told him that Nancy was not there. DePape stated that he would sit and wait. Pelosi stated that his wife would not be home for several days, and then DePape reiterated that he would wait. And here's where it gets weird, that Pelosi was able to get into the bathroom, which is when he was able to call 911. Again, it gets I don't know, weird if you go through the statements that were said. How did he, stop him from going into another room? But then they're talking, he was able to get into the bathroom to make that phone call. Don't worry, I have, more to go. There's still 3 pages of all of this, but that's the part that, gets me. If he stopped you from going to another room, which I'm about to say, how did you manage to get into a bathroom to call 911? He let you get in there. And then by the time the cops arrived 2 minutes later, which is terrifyingly fast, the police responded within 2 minutes. Not like the police, department's literally, right there. Much like it takes a minute to get there, but again, that's what makes everything more strange and hinky and opens the can of worms. But in a Mirandized and recorded interview by the San Francisco Police Department, DePape provided the following information. DePape stated that he was going to hold Nancy hostage and talk to her, and that he wanted her to tell him the truth, and if she did, he would let her go, and if she lied, he was going to break her kneecaps, and he was certain that Nancy would not tell the truth. Well, if you watched the news the last couple of years, just say. He viewed Nancy as the leader of the pack of lies told by the Democratic Party. By breaking Nancy's kneecaps, she would then have to be wheeled into Congress, which would show other members of Congress there were consequences to actions. And he wanted to use Nancy to lure another individual to himself. He stated that he broke into the house through a glass door, which required the use of a hammer, like I said earlier. Stated that Pelosi was in bed and appeared surprised by him. Well, as he should be. Pelosi moved, towards another part of the house, but DePape stopped him altogether, and they went back into the bedroom. But then, while they were talking to each other, Pelosi went into a bathroom where he grabbed a phone and called 911. That's the really weird part. He stopped you from going into another bedroom, but while you're talking, you managed to get, into the bathroom, even though you couldn't get to another room before. You're talking and you got into a bathroom and able to call 911 again. Weird stuff. I'm not saying anything happened either way. I'm just stating that's pretty fucking weird. He explained that he did not leave after Pelosi called 911 because, much like the American founding fathers with the British, he was fighting against tyranny without the option of surrender. Excuse me. Pape stated that he pulled the hammer away from Pelosi and swung the hammer towards Pelosi, explained that Pelosi's action resulted in Pelosi taking the punishment instead. That would be Paul instead of Nancy. And then items found in the Pape's residence. On October 29th, 2022, law enforcement determined that the Pape lived in the garage of a residence on Shasta Street in Richmond, California, and he resided in the garage for approximately 2 years after interviewing the owner. Law enforcement searched the garage at the residence pursuant to the federal search warrant, seized 2 hammers, a sword, and a pair of rubber and cloth gloves, which again, those are, I'm sure if we went into my garage, we could find gloves. And I know there's rubber gloves on my counter right now. Just when I'm cooking with chicken and dealing with all kinds of reptiles and cleaning and stuff. But I found evidence that the Pape lived in the garage, including DMV paperwork, IRS letters, and PayPal credit cards, which again goes back into the whole here illegally thing. Like if they could still get him stuff, his week his work visa was gone. Why didn't the hell they get rid of him? And sanctuary state, sanctuary city, all that dumb stuff. There's just so many questions, and we don't have answers, and God knows if we ever will. But just want to throw it out there in conclusion, based on the information above, there's probable cause to believe that David DePape intentionally assaulted Paul Pelosi in violation 18 U.S. Code 115A1A and attempted to kidnap Speaker Nancy Pelosi in violation of Title 18 U.S. Code 1201D. Therefore, I respectfully request that the court issue a criminal complaint and arrest warrant against DePape. Stephanie Miner, special agent for the FBI, sworn to before me over the telephone and signed by me pursuant to Fed R Crim P 4.1 and 4D on the 31st day of October 2022, signed Honorable Thomas S. Hickson, United States Magistrate Judge. And again, like I said, a lot of stuff in there. This whole thing, again, if you're one of those people that would like to read the whole entire thing yourself, feel free to message me. I can email it over to you, or even message me, find a way to get it to you, there through one of the things, but let me send it through that text to you. Like there's a lot of ways I can get to it. You can look online. It's really easy to find, actually, surprisingly. It was really, really easy to find. Again, unredacted, so you could read the whole thing. At least I went into that. I'm curious to see what else comes out of it and what more charges, because I said there's other charges that are yet to be, announced to us. I'd like to see what they are, because I think that might help confirm, a bunch of other stuff. First and foremost, hopefully the healing goes well. Head injuries suck. It's the truth and bottom of it all one day down the road. Like I said, I hope I can hope we do. I don't have faith that we actually will, but regardless if a man got hit in the head with a hammer, unless he's out there like killing and raping children or something, like, excuse me, and a monster, I hope that they're, they get better and they, recover well, regardless, just from being a human being. And don't forget to always, first and foremost, especially with this and anything else, keep looking every day. Don't be a schmuck and like going, this is what I've found, and you haven't looked, in a day or so. Keep yourself updated every day. Hell, I've been caught where I didn't look stuff for like a day or two, and then it caught up to me, and there's still stuff that's just unconfirmed. And as soon as they confirm stuff, I'll let you know. This is just what has been released out there legally. It's unredacted, but that's all that's there, because there's still so many unconfirmed things with this whole entire story. And again, we all know how well that normally works. So bear with me. I'm going to try my best to keep getting, as soon as I get it, I'll come out with either a full episode or a short, but this one's going to take time. And really, moral, this is a crazy ass world, and we need to turn the temperature down, and people need to stop their bullshit rhetoric and their agenda and just go at it, because things just, not going to get any better. They're going to keep, getting worse between, the Bernie bro shooting, Steve Scalise and others, the attack on Rand Paul, this, like, there's just dumb shit happening all the time. Crime's going up, and we got to do something. So keep yourself informed, because it's the easiest way to help make a difference in all of that. Stay educated, stay frosty, stay informed, and look every day, because it's out there, and follow the socials, because I do try to share it on Twitter and Facebook as much as possible. But thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to share it out, follow along on all the platforms, like, comment, all of it. And until I find anything out, enjoy your day. Peace.